Okay, it's time for the Fan Connection presented by AT&T. Every week we invite you, the listener, to engage with us, submit your questions, good and bad. We've shown that we enjoy a good debate. The best way to grow the game of soccer in America is keep asking questions, keep talking about the sport we love. At AT&T, connecting changes everything. And on USLNT, our connections with you help us grow the game. Now, normally, Jordan pops up on the screen at this point. We got a little Bruce Almighty Morgan Freeman style. Today, she's disappointed she's not getting the airtime that she so rightfully deserves. But
Jordan, she's been angling for it for weeks.
They're lying to you. Do
Welcome
not
in.
listen to them.
Welcome in, Jordan. How are you?
I'm great, guys. How are you? This is amazing.
How's your anxiety level right now?
Hi.
Well, good.
It
looked like we had a lot of questions.
A lot of questions.
I mean, this is the most important part anyway.
We have a lot of questions. Okay, so there were two people who asked kind of similar questions, so we're gonna sort of group them together. So where is Scott? Scott, give the guys a wave.
All
Great.
Right, Scott.
And then Nicholas, can you also give the guys a wave, please? Okay, so Scott asked you guys, in any other country when a 4-0 loss happens,
oh boy,
the fans call for the head of the manager, basically. How many more chances will Poch get before we have to move on? And Nicholas asked, if the U.S. crashes out of the Gold Cup, should Poch be fired?
Go ahead, Tim.
No, and look, I don't think it's a great question. I think everyone's asking.
It's a great question.
I think everyone's either asking it on the surface or kind of subliminally. There's not enough time. There's not enough time to fire a coach and rehire one. To fire Pochettino now would be an admission of a mistake by U.S. Soccer. And quite frankly, we've said today, Pochettino's a really good manager. He hasn't had players at his disposal for a long time. Look, I get there's been 4 losses in a row, and sure, we can talk about whether that's down to the manager. We saw it a bunch at Manchester United this year. Ruben Amorim, who I think is a really good manager, couldn't win a game. He was trying to implement his style, and he was force-feeding that, and people said, well, should he go? No, I think Pochettino is going nowhere. Also, there's 6 million reasons why he's also not going anywhere, because you'd have to pay him. There's logistics. You have to pay him out. You have to go get another manager who you think can do a better job, and he's going nowhere. So nor do I think he should at the moment. So yeah.
Here's the problem. The problem is time.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is he thought he had a group of players that he could count on and depend on.
Yep.
And over the course of 6 months, 8 months, they've thrown a wrench in that with their performances.
Sure.
And so now he has no idea who's going to show up, who's committed, who is proud to put on their. He has no idea. And for him, coming from Argentina,
sure.
I watched Argentina-Colombia the other day.
Yeah.
That's not a soccer game. That is not a soccer game. It is. These are some of the best players in the world, and it is just.
Yeah.
I'm not using this intentionally, but like it's war.
Yeah.
Right. And so for him, he must be scratching his head, going, "This is not what I signed up for." Now, to answer your question, if he were to walk away, he's walking away from a lot of money, and it's a stain on him.
Yeah.
U.S. Soccer fires him. Ton of money, and now you got to hire a new coach.
Yeah.
And now you have 8 months, 9 months, 10 months to prepare.
Sure.
I mean, it would just be an unmitigated disaster. Now, if they go crashing out of the Gold Cup in the group stage, I think there's a conversation to be had.
Well, let me say this. If the worst happens, and that's what we're talking about, the worst happening, he's a good manager with a really great reputation. Right. And if in the summer there's a European club who says we have a lot of money, we want a top manager who can understands how to manage top players in Europe, and also as an aside, things went horrific for the U.S., there is a possibility there, sure, but I think it's a very, very small one.
All right. Where is Nicole? All right. Nicole said the U.S. women's national team was disconnected, disjointed. The culture was really poor. And then they brought in Emma Hayes and everything seems to have turned around. What's the difference between Emma Hayes and Pochettino? Why are her ideas working so well and his aren't?
It's a great question. It really is. I'm going to think about this as I'm talking. It's possible. Okay. And this is just my opinion. And this is me deciphering a lot of things and a lot of information I've taken in both what I've seen and what I've heard behind the scenes. It's possible that Pochettino is an amazing coach and manager, but not for this group of players. That is a possibility. Conversely, Emma Hayes seems like the perfect coach manager for that group of players. And I can't put my finger on exactly why or what, but I'll tell you something about Emma Hayes. I talked to her when I was coaching the Wave. I talked to her a few times. She is clear. She has clear direction that she wants to go. She takes no prisoners. Nobody's dictating to her what's going on. She's made it clear that you either do this and you perform this way or you're not coming in, and she doesn't care who you are. And so that has been clear from day one with her, and that has really resonated with that group.
Yeah, and you have that insight. Look, for me, it's very simple. The U.S. women have the best players in the world. Okay, which, by the way, makes the stakes higher, right? So when Emma comes in and takes a team over, it's not like you have to get better. You have to go to the Olympics and win. You have to go to the World Cup and win, right? So the stakes are higher, but she's able to take the best players in the world and stamp her authority on it. And the women know that. The women are very, very clever. They know they're the best, and so it hurts them. It's a gut punch to the women when they're not the best, when they drop below number one in the world, or they don't win a gold medal or World Cup. So that's the simple answer. But she's done an incredible job, because I think you do have to go in there, particularly with the success they've had, and go, I still want to have success in a very similar vein, but I've got to do it my way. So, yeah.
Great question.
Where is Misa?
With the Tim Howard jersey. Give him a round of applause for the Tim Howard jersey.
No.
I would just like to mention that I'm going to ask an Everton question, and I'm not going to break out into hives while I'm doing it. It's fine.
She's a Liverpool fan, just in case.
So she's a red.
Misa would like to know, what is your opinion on the new Everton stadium name, which for those of you in the audience who don't know is Hill Dickinson Stadium?
Rolls right off the tongue. Listen, I think it's important.
Is that a sponsor?
Yeah. Look, money makes the world go round in the world of football, and as Everton fans or any Premier League or club fan, the more money you have, the more assets you can buy, and so you need to bring sponsor dollars in to get that done. That wasn't a question you asked. How do I feel about the name? It'll do for now. It'll do for now, I suppose.
No, you're right though. Who cares? It's like if it makes your club better and you can buy better players, then who cares? The best is the lower leagues in England, when they've got like around the edge of the state. It's like Tom's Fish and Chips Shop and like Dick's Lumber Yard, and like it's so great.
Where is Kelvin in the room?
Oh
yes, love it.
Amigo. Beautiful shirt. Donovan on the back. No. Come on, man.
Okay, Kelvin's got one question for each of you.
Oh.
So for Landon, he'd like to know about your favorite goal against Mexico. And for Tim, what did your first ever win at Azteca mean to you?
Love that. The one in the World Cup. So in 2002, I scored a header against Mexico. Yes, thank you. The reason is it is entirely possible. I don't think it's likely, but for the next 100 years, it's possible we don't play Mexico again in a World Cup.
Yeah.
And we can always, always, always hold that over their head. So
incredible. Yeah. That's an interesting game. I think it was 2012. Went to Azteca and won. And Azteca is one of the greatest scariest places, but one of the greatest places I've ever played. And there's like plaques on the wall as you walk down this concrete tunnel, and it shows the record against all the teams. We never won there. And it's quite fitting that there's this episode that we're talking about this, because I remember it wasn't our strongest team going in, and I was in Europe somewhere. I can't remember where we were. We were like off-season training, and flew to Mexico. And I remember like there was never in my mind to be like, our best team isn't there, so therefore I don't want to be there. The opportunity to fail was great too, but the opportunity to get the first ever win at Azteca was like, let's have at it.
That's
if
awesome.
we lose 4 or 5-0, sure, but the opportunity to be the first, it was huge. It was an amazing game.
Well said.
Okay, I think we have time for one more. This was a really great question. I cannot wait to hear your answer to this. So where's C in the room? They're in the back.
Oh, that's old school.
It's a good one.
So C would like to know if we, the American soccer fans, prioritize our attention and our money on the U.S. men's national team, MLS, the USL soccer here in this country, instead of pouring our money into Premier League teams and La Liga teams and Serie A teams, can we influence the growth, the rate of growth, compared to the growth that some of the European leagues and teams have
You
had?
mean you as an individual, what you spend your money on? Or you're saying
Total, the ecosystem.
I think the short answer is yes,
Hmm.
right? Like as Tim says, money dictates everything. You as a consumer, you make choices every day, right? Now, part of being on this side of it that we were on, and part of being US soccer and the players is that's a responsibility. So this happened late in my career. I became acutely aware that fans were spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars to come watch me play. Not me, but the team and me. And it kind of hit me one day because I was like, I have an obligation to them to play well, to play hard, to entertain. This is an obligation. This is not, and I wish it had happened earlier. I wish I had realized it earlier, but it doesn't mean I just get to like ho-hum around the field. And like you're paying hard-earned money. And I'm a fan now of sports too. And when I go, I'm like, Jesus, my kid wants to go to a Padre game. It's like $600 out the door, right? And if someone's just kind of running to first base slowly, I'm like, hold on a minute, man. You know what I mean? So I think there's an immense obligation, and I think that's magnified and exacerbated when it's for your national team. I really do, because there's so much more at stake. So yes, to answer your question, but it needs to be reciprocated, and you need to enjoy what you see. And if not, you have every reason to be pissed off.
Yeah.
We are as fans. I'm pissed off right now, and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I look at the other side of that coin, from a not a personal standpoint, but the overall ecosystem in U.S. soccer, or in American soccer, I should say, nobody plays ball together. Everyone's separate. MLS is separate from USL and USL Women and NWSL, and everyone's different. They like to say that it falls under the same pyramid. It doesn't. No one's playing together. USL is going to promotion relegation, right?
Yeah.
Whether you agree with that or not, if they have success, right, and it leads to real dollars, I would imagine there's going to be a whole bunch of folks getting on board, right? And so we need to do a better job in America in terms of getting this collective. Now, you can still have your own businesses, you can still be USL, but we need to figure out a way to get on this pyramid scheme like they do in England and Spain and other countries, right? So you have the top league that's governed by the Football Association, and then everything trickles down. And until we do that, until we're separate, that's going to be a problem.
That's the nail on the head. Honestly, that's the nail on the head. And until we do that, I hate to say it, and I don't want to be the Grim Reaper, it's going to be really hard, certainly for our men's national team to be successful. Really hard. So on that happy note, we